What's going on, everyone? It's Christina from the Glaser Tutoring Company, and today we got a beautiful little multiplication problem with you with polynomials, right? And today we're going to have to find the product of these two polynomials being multiplied together. And yeah, product is just a fancy way for saying let's multiply, right? So we're going to multiply this polynomial, right? 6b squared minus 6 times 4b squared minus 4. Okay, now there's many different ways to learn how to multiply polynomials. Some people do acronyms, some people do, I don't know, some boxes. We don't need to do any of that, right? I got you guys. All we got to remember is just a little kindness, right? And in terms of math, you gotta be fair. And by the end of the video, you're probably going to hear me say, you gotta be fair, probably, I don't know, 20 times. So, yeah, you're going to remember that. We all got to be fair. But now, what does that exactly mean? Well, let's see. Now, when we have two polynomials, we obviously have to multiply them together, and we're going to do it with focusing all of our heavy lifting on the first parenthesis. You do most of the work on your first parenthesis, you focus in on your first parenthesis, and with that, you're going to multiply by the second parenthesis, and then all we got to do is simplify. So, just make a system for yourself. Always start with your first parenthesis and work from left to right. So we're going to focus our energy on the 6b squared. Now, the question is, well, what are we multiplying, right? Well, we're not going to be multiplying the 6b squared with the negative 6 because literally it says subtraction. So never multiply things that are in the same parenthesis. We must go across the pond, right? Across the parenthesis to get to our destination. And in this case, there's two different values. There's the 4b squared and the negative 4. And what's the saying? You gotta be fair. If you multiply the 6b squared with the 4b squared, the negative 4 is like, oh, I wish I was being multiplied too. So the 6b squared says, okay, I'm gonna be fair. So we're gonna multiply that as well. And that's the whole idea here, is that whatever you're taking your term, you just got to be fair across the parentheses. So if there was 3 variables here, you would have to take this first term and multiply it by 3. Or if there was 4 terms, you do it 4 times. So let's first work on what we get from the first set of multiplication, and then we come back with the second part. So let's go for it. 6b squared minus times 4b squared. Multiply your numbers as if you would normally do, right? And then we multiply our variables. So 6 times 4 is 24. So we're going to start off with the big 24 here. And now let's multiply our variables with our exponents. Now here is, I just don't like that 4. Oh boy, am I stuck in a loop? I might be stuck in an endless loop, guys. That's good. Okay, so we got b squared times b squared. Here is your property for multiplying variables with exponents. It's right here. And maybe I'll just put it down here. That if you have a variable with an exponent, I just called it a, and the other one is b, right? Could be 2 a's, 2 b's. You just have to have 2 numbers. But secretly what you're doing is you're actually adding them. So when you're multiplying your variables, you're secretly adding the exponents. So don't be tempted to multiply the exponents. We are adding them. In this case, it doesn't matter because b squared and b squared, I have a 2 and a 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So now I've collected 4 b's. So 24, b to the 4th. And now let's move on to the next part. Let's be fair. 6b squared times a negative 4. Okay, well, numbers first. 6 times a negative 4 is a negative 24. And now it's just a b squared. There's no b value here, so the b squared just gets dragged along for the ride. And notice how I've written these two in different colors, because different degrees or different exponents for your variables do not mix. So I can't simplify these because this is a b to the fourth and this is a b to the second. So different exponent variables, different colors. We love the colors here on the channel. Okay, we did the first part. Now we don't care about this guy anymore. Let's focus on the next term in the first parenthesis. And in this case, we just have to be super careful on checking our signs because this one is a -6 or a -6, right? And you got to be fair. So if I multiply the -6 by the first term, 4b squared, the -4 is like, oh, come on. I want to be multiplied too. So it does. So we must take the -6 and multiply it by 4b squared, and then the -6 times the -4. So let's go for it. -6 times 4 is a -24. And now no b value in here, but a b squared, right? And notice how I wrote it in red because b squareds stick together. Yay! Last but not least, -6 times a -4 is a positive 24. And now we have successfully did the multiplication. Now all we got to do is just clean it up. And you simplify by just adding or subtracting like variables. In this case, it's the two red guys, the b squareds. Okay, well, can't do anything with 24 b to the fourth, so that stays exactly the same. And now I just add, right, or subtract, right, depending on how you think about it. -24 minus 24. So I got two negatives, I'm adding them together. So this is going to be a -48. And now, when you add, you just drag that variable along. You only change the variable, the exponent, if you're multiplying. Adding or subtracting, you do not change that variable. And then this will just be plus 24. And now I have one color of each, which means that I can't simplify anymore, and we're done. And that's the end. What'd you think? Oh yeah. Thank you so much for coming to the video and, learning from me. Thank you so much. My brother and I, we really do appreciate you guys. We got thousands of videos on the channel for you to help you out in your studies. We got physics, chemistry, obviously math videos. So check the channel out. We're probably going to be able to help you in multiple subjects. So stick with us, right? I really do appreciate you. Thanks you so much. Good luck on those tests and quizzes. And as always, I hope you're having a great day out there. All right? And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.